Namaste and welcome back. In the last video, we have discussed the concepts of installation of virtual machine, especially to create virtual lab setup for the ethical hacking practice. The main aim of the virtual lab setup is to eliminate the legal troubles in practicing the hacking activities. As we have seen previously, the hacking activity is important to learn so that while doing so, no asset or no network should be disturbed. So that is the reason we are going to set up the virtual lab. As part of this, we have seen how to install Oracle VM or VirtualBox and how to install Kali Linux in the virtual machine. Once the Kali Linux is installed, the first and foremost thing important is setting up the network. The network can be set in virtual machine in several ways. We have seen the network address translation, how to create this network address translation and how to make the host computer as the public machine and the virtual machine or operating system that is installed on the virtual machine as the private network. So with the NAT, we have also seen that from private network we can browse to or ping to the public network, but not vice versa. So in this video we are going to see, or I will be explaining some more networking concepts that are available in the Oracle VM, and I will also discuss the plan of the network that we can create so that we can perform the ethical hacking activity smoothly. So we'll come across various networking diagrams, networking sketches, and how to plan this networking in the virtual machine with the various other operating systems, not only Kali Linux, and any other any operating system like Windows or Linux can be installed and set up in the virtual machine. So in this video I will be going through step by step the detailed description of setting up our own lab by considering various networking features available in the Oracle VM. So by this time you are aware of that performing hacking or practicing any hacking activity by considering an organizational network is basically considered as a serious crime. For this, what is the alternative? The best alternative is to create our own lab, either physically or virtually by using the virtual machines. So in this video I am going to present the creation of simple virtual lab in VirtualBox for the penetration testing and ethical hacking practice to avoid legal obligations. So the objective of this video are, already in the previous video I have presented various how to install the VirtualBox and how to install the Kali Linux in it. In this video I am going to show you various networking features that are supported by VirtualBox, and the second objective is to understand and implement internet traffic sharing. Next one is to understand and implement port forwarding. Next one is, in the process of sharing the internet, the firewalls will play a major role in the diverting of the internet traffic. Hence I am going to explain a very famous firewall software on the Linux platform, which is called iptables, to divert the network traffic. Finally, how to implement a simple virtual lab for the penetration testing with the various network diagrams, and finally I will give you 2 exercises to do on your own. So this is the way this particular presentation will go on. Before moving on, these are the terms that I am frequently using while presenting the network setup in the Oracle virtual machine. Hence, to not to get confused, I am going to list these terms here. System means the computer system with the operating system installed. Host system or operating system or host operating system, that means that computer or OS where virtual machine is installed. In the last video, I have shown you installing of the virtual machine on Windows 10 operating system. So here host system or host OS will become the Windows 10. Next one is guest system or operating system, which means that operating systems that are installed in the Oracle VM or Oracle virtual machine, that is operating systems. Next one is hacker system. Hacker system means a computer from which hacking activity is conducted. This is said to be hacker system. Target system means computer which hacker wants to compromise. In security, information security, compromise means a system have been hacked or attacked with some security attacks or by exploiting the vulnerabilities. Next one is target application, which means that application which hackers want to compromise. Victim system. So when a user or system will become victim once he or the system his system is compromised. So that is the reason victim system means system which has been compromised. Next is victim. Victim means user whose system has been compromised. NAT means network address translation. So these are the terms I am going to use frequently in this particular video. So hence I have given this list. In order to set up the virtual lab, first and foremost thing that we require is virtual machine. We are going to use Oracle VirtualBox. So anyhow, in the last video I have presented how to download it and install. Along with this one, we require some operating systems. The operating systems that are needed for the setting up of the virtual lab is, one is hacker system. Hacker system is one from which you practice the penetration testing methods or ethical hacking methods, for which the most suitable operating system, which is called Kali Linux. This is based upon Debian kernel. So the Ubuntu operating system, Debian and Kali are having the same kind of kernel, but the applications that are included in Kali Linux are purely dedicated to the penetration testing process. Currently, Kali Linux supports more than 650 penetration testing tools. So I recommend to install any of the versions of the Kali Linux, that is 2019.x, means there exist 4 versions in 2019 that was released. In 2020, currently 2020.2 second version is going on for the year 2020. You may visit the website given here and download the corresponding version. So this is the hacker system. Once you install the hacker system, you may install the target systems. Target systems are one which are especially the hacker will target and try to compromise by exploiting the vulnerabilities. Here mostly the Linux and Windows are the operating systems that are majorly used in many of the computers across the world. However, OS X is also there, you may also download trial version of the OS X and may install in the virtual machine. But while comparing with the OS X, the volume of the users of Linux and Windows are huge. Further, many of the organizations, and it may include educational organizations or the business organizations, are mainly focusing on using of the either Linux or Windows operating systems. That is the reason in this entire course I will be focusing only on Linux and Windows operating systems. So what are the different versions of Linux operating systems that we need to use? Here the first one is old Ubuntu versions. Either you may download and install the old Ubuntu versions such as 8.x or 12.x. Wherever I mention X, the related versions that came with the previous number, that is 12.1, 12.04, 12.3, etc. 14.x. So in order to download any one of this operating system, you may visit this particular website. Anyhow, you will find all these things in the description section of this particular video. So you may visit these links and download the related version and install in the virtual machine. Next one is CentOS or Fedora. CentOS is also based upon the Ubuntu build. Hence, either you use old Ubuntu versions or CentOS, which make no difference. Next one is Fedora. This is another flavor in the Linux operating system, which is most popular and widely used. Hence, I am considering Fedora Linux. So in order to download the older version of the Fedora Linux, you can visit this particular website. Next one is Linux Lite. This Linux Lite version of Linux is again based upon Ubuntu base. Hence, you may use CentOS or old Ubuntu and Linux Lite. However, Linux Lite has a special feature such as it will work with the very low memory. That means it will work with 256 MB of RAM. Hence, this may be recommended for running the server. Next one is in Kali Linux, there is a pre-built tool called Metasploit, which is especially used to exploiting the operating systems, especially identifying the vulnerabilities in the operating system, and via Metasploit we can exploit those vulnerabilities. In order to test the Metasploit that is installed on the Kali Linux, or to practice the Metasploit framework, two Linux based operating systems that have been developed with various vulnerabilities as a basic feature, those are Metasploitable 1 and 2. You may visit Vulnerable Hub website and may download those operating systems. Since Metasploitable is the basic tool that will be learnt by many of the penetration testing practitioners along with other penetration testing tools, hence Metasploitable 1 and Metasploitable 2 plays a major role in learning the Metasploit tool. So Metasploit is a penetration testing tool, whereas Metasploitable 1 and Metasploitable 2 are the Linux based operating systems which are basically developed to test the or to practice the Metasploit penetration testing tool from Kali Linux. Hence, you may visit the website vulnerablehub.com and may download the So here you can find Metasploitable 2 and Metasploitable 1. These are the two operating systems you can download and the description of these operating systems can also be seen here. Please remember, vulnerablehub.com is a website which consisting of many number of Linux images with many vulnerabilities. This particular website is used as a forum to download many vulnerable operating systems and can test with the help of Kali Linux. This website will be helpful in downloading and testing various vulnerable operating systems. So if you click on home, you will find many operating systems like that with various vulnerabilities. And here Glasgow Smile is an operating system that was placed recently as on 15 June 2020. This is the latest update that was made in this particular website. By uploading this particular Glasgow Smile 1 as the operating system, here number of users available in this Glasgow system are 5. So you are supposed to identify who are those users. Next is what is the difficulty level, initial, shell which is easy level, privilege escalation level which is intermediate, and hint enumeration is the key. See, these are the hints will be provided with along with the vulnerable operating systems. So as a penetration testing practitioner, you can also download these images and can test these images with the hints provided here. So thereby you can prepare penetration testing process plan and can test accordingly. Once you test this, then you can also document and you may present the document in this particular website. So this is the way many people will develop various vulnerable operating systems wantedly and they will upload in this particular website. So this website will help you a lot in downloading various vulnerable operating systems, especially Linux based, and test with the help of the penetration testing tools that you have learned in the Kali Linux. Along with the Metasploitable 1 and 2, there are other vulnerable operating systems as I shown to you in this particular website. Among various other vulnerable operating systems, I am using Vulnerable OS V2 for explanation in this particular course. So I recommend you to download vulnerable operating system, that is Vulnerable OS V2. V2 means version 2. Version 1 is also there, but the image is very old. So version 2 is the somewhat recent image, and you can download it from this particular link. So you can download it from this link, and as this image was prepared and released on 17th May 2016, and author is so and so, and series is Vulnerable OS series. And here there are some images also provided, and the screenshot of the operating system is also provided here. You look at here, various other documentations also provided, that is how to perform penetration testing on the vulnerable OS. Anyhow, along with these documents, I will also explain step by step in this course whenever the related topic come into the picture. Step by step I will present how to perform system hacking of Vulnerable OS V2. So that is the reason I recommend you to download it and install in the Oracle VM. Next comes to the most widely used operating system, which is called Windows. In this Windows, I recommend you to download old Windows XP operating system, that is Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2 and Service Pack 3. Either you may download Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3. Anyhow, Windows XP don't have any security updates. That is, Microsoft itself has given up the security updates for the Windows XP from 2014 onwards. Hence, this Windows XP can be downloadable from the internet, so you can download this. Next one is Windows 7 trial, which is of 30 days trial or 40 days trial, that is provided by Microsoft Microsoft Windows. The reason is Windows 7 is still used in many places, like in some education institutions and all. Along with that one, Windows 8.1 also many people are using today. So that is the reason Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 along with Windows 10, which is a recent version of the Windows operating systems. So I recommend you to download trial versions. In Windows 10, especially 1703 or 1803 versions. Currently 2004 OS version is going on. That is OS built 2004 is going on as on date of making this video. That is so that is the reason I recommend you to download this either of these two versions. So if not these three, then you may also download Metasploitable 3. Previously Metasploitable 1 and 2 are based on the Linux images, where in case of Metasploitable 3 is developed based upon the Windows 8.1. Hence I recommend you to download Metasploitable 2 and Metasploitable 3. Anyhow, you cannot directly download this Metasploitable 3, for which you need to do some homework for downloading this. That means some special softwares are required to create an image of the Metasploitable 3. Basically it is of around this Metasploitable 3 is of around 4 GB size. So that is the reason you need to be patient and you should have a good internet connectivity to make this particular image and to download onto your desktop. So how to make this particular Metasploitable 3 image? You can go to this particular website. So in the GitHub, this particular setup instructions have been provided. Metasploitable 3 is a virtual machine image that is built from the ground up with a large amount of security vulnerabilities. It is intended to be used as a target testing exploit with a Metasploit. So that is the reason I recommend you to download or make the image of this Metasploitable 3. So this is the quick start and how to create this Metasploitable 3 workspace and how to download it. So the instructions were given. If you are a Linux user, these are the instructions you are supposed to follow. If you are the Windows user, you are supposed to follow these instructions. After setting up this instruction, then your Linux image, Metasploitable 3 image will be ready. You have to use that particular Metasploitable image directly, or I forgot to tell one thing here. This Metasploitable 3 image will be directly created in your VirtualBox. So nothing to worry, no need to install this. Directly it will be installed in the virtual machine. Automatically it will take up the Oracle VM VirtualBox path and directly it will install the Metasploitable 3 in that particular Oracle VirtualBox. So hence nothing to worry in this, just to follow the instruction given here. Automatically, as I told you that you should have a good internet speed and it will take around some time. And next one is, you look at here, OS capable of running of the all applications listed below. That is Oracle, this Packer, Vagrant, these are the things you are supposed to download first. Anyhow, Packer is there, you go to this link and download the Packer, and Vagrant, go to this link and download the Vagrant. So how to build automatically, the instructions were also given, so you may also follow these instructions, and finally you are supposed to make this Metasploitable 3. In order to do that, you should have 65 GB available space on the drive and at least of 4.5 GB RAM should be there in your computer. That means if you are having 8 GB RAM, then it is that computer system is sufficient for creating this Metasploitable 3 image. So these are the operating systems that are required for our network setup. In this I mostly recommend you to download Metasploitable 2, Vulnerable OS v2, and Ubuntu old version 8.x. So these are the three Linux images. Next, Windows XP, either of Service Pack 3. So Service Pack 3 is also recently available, or Service Pack 2 also available. Next, Windows 7 trial version, Metasploitable 3. So in Windows 3 versions, either XP, XP 7 and Metasploitable 3. Next one is Ubuntu 8.x, Metasploitable 2, Vulnerable OS v2, and Linux Lite Server. So these are the operating systems I will explore in this particular course. Wherever the topic comes, I will use any one of this particular image, and I will show you how to perform how to use the penetration testing tools that are available on the Kali Linux. So currently I have discussed the virtual machine installation and Kali Linux installation. What are the operating systems needed for practicing the practical aspects that are going to be presented in this course. So if you want to alone or if you want to practice the Kali Linux alone from internet, and if you are having good internet facility, and if you don't have the virtual machine which is installed, so you can also go to the linuxju.net website, and from there you can practice the Kali Linux and various other operating systems. So in order to do that, first of all, in the linuxju.net, you can go to the actions link here, register for an account. Select register for an account. In this user registration, read this. Here username must valid email address, that is the email address that you are going to use in general. Password, same password in both the fields must be written. So these are the instructions that we are already aware of. But here the matriculation number and authentication code is not required to fill, automatically it will create. So to proceed to registration, click here. Here email ID, you may create some email ID or you may enter your email ID here. Like for example, I want to enter my email ID, prvonlineclasses@gmail.com. Password, okay, I will not say, I will type here. So this password is for this website. So first name Raghu Vamsi. So no need to leave matriculation number if blank is not a student and something. No need to fill anything in this. Register. So here select must something. Just interested. You must accept the terms and condition. Okay, here accept the terms and condition and say register. So successful registration, you will get the email ID there. So log off, go to the linuxju.net, email ID PRV online classes. After entering password, login. So here account expires in 13 days was given here, no problem. Just for thing, I have just to show you how to use this linuxju. So here queue, because many users will compete for the online virtual machine. So hence join queue, click here, join queue. Then here you will find various operating systems here: Linux CentOS 7, Microsoft Windows 2008, Windows 7, Kali 1.0.6. If you want to practice Kali Linux, Kali 1.0.6 need to be clicked. Here two options are there: fresh Linux install image, use previous image if available. fresh Linux install image means, since you are this is the first time I'm doing this Linux image, so hence click here fresh Linux install image. From the second time onwards, whenever I log in and want to practice, then you use previous image if available. Then once you do this, switch on, click on switch on, so it will go to the connect, and here you will find VM web service is not available. Since I am in queue, it will take some time to give me the link. So here JavaScript VNC is there. Click JavaScript VNC. Very good. Now the no VNC, this is going to be connected. Basically this particular here Alice and password. What is the password? Previously all of a sudden it was selected CentOS, Linux CentOS that was created previously. So now I'm selecting Kali Linux. Same procedure again. Select the Kali Linux, use previous image if available, or create fresh image, switch on. So whenever you say switch on, it will be sent to queue. Then here it will take some time to refresh and get the link. Okay, now you got this, and here username is root and password is secure. Click here. Boot process is going on. So here boot process will go on. Now here click here. So boot process is complete, because it is giving here load process is completed. So that means this tab is ready for loading. So username is root and password is secure. Root and password is, what is the password given? SECURE. SECURE, secure. So be attention in typing the passwords and usernames which was given there. Sometimes instead of O they will use 0, so you have to take care of that particular things. What is this? Authentication failure. Basically this password is, what was given here is wrong. Basically it was given here password as secure, but it is wrong. Over the internet search I found that the password is Kali, so that is the reason I entered Kali, so I got the Kali Linux desktop. So this is the username and password for the Kali which is running in the QEMU of linuxju.net. So here you can find applications, various applications, accessories, electronics, graphics, etc. Kali Linux. Here in the Kali Linux you will find top 10 security tools, Aircrack-ng, Browsuit, the information gathering, vulnerability analysis, web application tools. So all tools that are available in the Kali Linux that you can that already I have downloaded previously on the VirtualBox. The same, everything is available here. So from here also you can practice if you have a good internet connectivity. So if you don't have the facility of practicing with the VirtualBox, then what you can do is you can do this, but this is not the permanent solution. If as a penetration testing practitioner, my suggestion and my recommendation is better you go through the VirtualBox. If the laptop or computer is not available with you, you are in some place but you want to do some practice on the Kali Linux, in the worst of the worst cases, then I recommend you to go to this LinuxJu and create your account and practice on this particular Kali Linux. So except this, if you are having access to your laptop and all, I always recommend you to install the VirtualBox, Kali Linux and all other operating systems. You are supposed to maintain this setup with you. Now we'll move on to the networking concepts in the Oracle VM. So by understanding these networking concepts, we can sketch our network plan in whatever way you want for the penetration testing practice. So in order to have networking options, so you can go to settings, their network. So for every operating system or for every system that is installed in the virtual machine, that is every system in the sense here, every guest operating system that is installed in the Oracle VM, you can select 4 adapters, or you can attach 4 adapters, or we can say these are 4 NIC, network interface cards, just like physical and network interface cards that is available with your computer. The same network interface card like things in a virtual way. So these 4 adapters you can fix it. So we have seen to share the internet between the host computer and the guest computers or guest operating systems. Then you are supposed to use either of 3. First one is NAT, network address translation. Second one is bridge adapter. Third one is NAT network. In the case of NAT and NAT network, the host operating system will become the public network and the guest operating systems will become the private networks. We have seen in the last video, private networks, our IP addresses will be generated by default with the starting series as 10.0.xx. Where in case of bridge adapter, it is a quite different thing compared to the NAT and NAT network that I will discuss afterwards. So with the network address translation, we have seen we can connect or we can ping to the public network, but from public network we cannot ping to the private network. This is the thing what we have seen in the previous video. Now we'll see some more aspects of network address translation. That is port forwarding. Port forwarding is a feature. In the last video I have briefed about the port forwarding, but not explained detail. So in this video I am going to explain this port forwarding concept. Port forwarding especially used to connect to the guest operating systems remotely. That means from the public network, if I want to connect to the guest operating system or some private network or the system which is there on the private network, then this particular port forwarding will be used. For example, there exists several services which are binded to various ports. In general, there will be around 65,000 and odd ports available in any system, in which up to 1023 are the ports dedicated for the system services. So we should not touch the system services related ports for our programming or for any other things. We should use only the port numbers which are above 1024 for doing any experimentation, which are called user defined ports. So the port numbers which are less than 1024 are system ports. Now in order to connect to a remote system in a secured way, we use a service called SSH, Secured Socket Host. So that particular service will always run on the port number 22. So that particular 22 port number SSH to be accessed via public network, then this particular port only to be forwarded, so that only the request that is coming onto the 22 port will be connected from the public network to the to the guest operating system that is installed on the virtual machine. So for that, what you are supposed to do is click on the port forward. Here click the new rule. There you type SSH. SSH is based upon TCP connectivity, TCP protocol. Leave the host IP as blank. That means from which host IP you are connecting to the guest IP, you don't know, because you may connect to the guest IP from any port, any host IP address. That means for any IP address from the public network. So that reason, any. In order to indicate any, you should not write anything in this particular section. So that means you can connect to the guest operating system from any IP address. But you can connect from the any IP address, but you should bind to any port. As I already mentioned you that you should use only the IP addresses which are above 1024, which are called user defined ports. So currently what I am doing is I am using 2222 as the port number. That means in order to access SSH on the guest operating system, then I need to use port number from any IP address from the public network to connect to the guest port, that is 22, which is on which this SSH service is running on. So no need to mention the guest IP address also. The reason is the reason is nothing, because any guest IP address on 22 you can connect. If you want to mention specifically, then you are supposed to mention the guest IP address. Previously we have seen the guest IP address. Here Kali Linux IP address, whenever the NAT is set as the network adapter 10.0.2.15. Please remember, if multiple systems or multiple guest operating systems are using NAT, then this IP address is not fixed, because the private network IP address that is generated dynamically. So sometimes there is no rule that always 10.0.2.15 is the IP address set to the Kali Linux. Since here in this case we have only Kali Linux as the operating system available on the virtual machine, so we are able to say that okay, this is the only IP address. But whenever the DHCP is activated, we cannot guess that always we will get the same IP address. So that reason it is very difficult for us to predict also. So that reason what I am doing is I am leaving this particular guest IP, and I am mentioning the guest port number where SSH service is running on, which is called 22. Then say OK. Once it is done, then start the Kali Linux. Wait till the Kali Linux system is booted, because when the Kali Linux system booted, this SSH service will also start. So whenever that means you are supposed to wait till the booting process of the Kali Linux is completed. Once the Kali Linux is booted and the login screen appears, then open the command prompt from the host operating system, that is from Windows 10, and use SSH command. The SSH command, here if you look at SSH command, will be having various options like mentioning of the port number, username, and the service that is going to be used, and many other options available. However, in old computers, a special tool called PuTTY is used by the users for connecting to the SSH services. But in case of Windows 10, from command prompt itself, we can enable the SSH. In order to do this, what I am going to do is I am going to the Kali Linux. From there I am creating a dummy user to connect to the Kali Linux system. Since the root user connectivity requires special permissions, I am going to create a dummy user for the demonstration purpose. In Linux, we need to use the command called user add test. Here I have created a password for the test user. This particular test user is created for the demonstration purpose, especially to connect to this test user, which is available on Kali Linux from the host computer, or in another sense we can say from the public network or from the remote computer. I want to connect to the Kali Linux via this. Open the command prompt of Windows 10, and from here type the SSH. The command is like this. Since we connected to the port 4.2s that we have mentioned in the virtual machine at the time of setting up the SSH path, SSH rule, so via port forwarding. And now I want to connect to the test user, which is available on the Kali Linux. Since the Kali Linux, the port 22, which is dedicated for the SSH, is binded with 4.2s of the local host. You are supposed to write the localhost IP address or localhost representation IP address, which is 127.0.0.1. So it is asking you for entering of the password. The password that I have created for the test user is 123456, 123456, and enter. So here this SSH terminal has become the Kali Linux terminal with the test user as the user. So whatever the thing you do here, that will be saved in the Kali Linux. That means we are going to access the Kali Linux remotely via the SSH terminal. So this is the way how the SSH will work with the help of the Oracle Virtual Machine VirtualBox. That means how can you access the virtual machine operating systems from the host computer or from any other remote computer via SSH. Next one is bridge adapter. Bridge adapter means whenever the network adapter is set to bridge adapter, then whatever the IP range that will followed by the host computer or host operating system, in the same IP range the guest operating system will also be enabled. For example, if the host operating system is with the 192.x.x.x series, then the guest operating systems will also be assigned with the 192.x.x.x series. That means the same network, same IP range will be used in the guest operating system and at the same time in the host operating system also. That means from the guest operating system we can connect to the host operating system. From host operating system we can ping to the guest operating system. The main disadvantage of this bridge adapter is the ultimate aim of virtual machine is to isolate from the host operating system. That means you want to work in isolation from the host operating system. But whenever the bridge adapter is connected, automatically whatever the penetration attempts that you make, then that particular penetration attempts will also be carried out to your organization network. So the reason is the same IP address range will be used in the bridge adapter in the guest operating system. So that is the reason bridge adapter is not recommended whenever you use penetration testing practice. Always the virtual machine should be isolated from the organizational networks, from the host computer or host operating system, so that whatever the penetration testing practice you do, that will be done only within the virtual machine purview. So that is the reason bridge adapter is not a recommended network settings for getting the internet connectivity. So for that it is always better either you use NAT or NAT network. So NAT network is most suitable for getting the internet connectivity on all the guest operating systems, but to be isolated from the host operating system. Now we'll set the adapter to bridge adapter. So I have attached it to bridge adapter. I have selected it as bridge adapter. Then click OK. So now the network is set to bridge adapter. So now you open the Kali Linux. Then once you disconnect from the network and again connect back, then open the command prompt. Now you check the IP address. What is the IP address of the Kali Linux? That is, in order to check the IP address, we need to go for ifconfig in case of Linux. In case of Windows, ipconfig. Look at it, was changed. Previously, we find the IP address as 10.0.2.15, but now it is 192.168.43.220. So why this change occurred? This change occurred because it is the guest operating system is sharing the same IP range of the host operating system. So the host operating system we have seen previously, the host operating system IP address is 192.168.43.100. So now I am opening command prompt on the Windows 10 and we'll see the IP address of the Windows 10, that is host operating system. So in order to check the IP address, ipconfig is the command on the Windows. So here look at, this is the IP address. So this IP address is 192.168.43.100, where in case of the IP address assigned to the Linux Kali Linux is 192.168.43.220. Now I will connect, I will try to ping the host computer. To do this, ping 192.168.43.100, which is the IP address of the host computer that already we have seen. This is the IP address. This IP address we are going to check for the pinging. Ping in the sense you are going to send ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, echo request. Basically, whenever we send the ICMP echo request, in response to that, the target system will reply with the ICMP echo reply. So many of the computers used to disable this ping. The reason is, there exist two reasons for this. One is the system may be off, that means it may be powered off. Second one is the corresponding operating system that is installed on the machine may not responding to the echo requests. So this kind of rules usually written in the firewall section of the corresponding operating system. Here I am using the host computer as the Windows 10 operating system. So we need to check the inbound rules section of the Windows 10. When we can, if we can enable the inbound rule for the ICMP request as enabled, then it will reply, it will respond to the ICMP echo reply. To allow the ICMP request, we move on to the control panel of the Windows 10. in which go to the Windows Defender firewall, in which advanced settings. Here you will find inbound rules, outbound rules, etc. So click on the inbound rules and search for the file sharing. So here file and printer sharing, in which you will find file and printer sharing, echo request ICMP v4. This ICMP v4 echo request is for the IPv4 protocol. So what you are supposed to do is select these two and make it enabled. Enable rule, right click, enable rule. So these two rules were enabled. Now what we are supposed to do is close this. So you look at now the Kali Linux is in a position to ping the host computer. So this is the way how we can ping to the host computer. So the host computer firewall's rules must accept the inbound ICMP echo request. Otherwise, it is not possible for the operating system to respond to the request. Now we have seen the communication happening from the virtual machine operating system to the host operating system. Now we'll see how the request or communication will happen from the host to the guest operating system. We have seen here the guest operating system's IP address is 192.168.43.220. So now I am going to ping this 220 IP address from the Windows 10 operating system. Ping 192.168.43.220. So reply from the 220 is this one. So we have got communication with the Kali Linux operating system running in the virtual machine. So one important thing you must remember here is, while pinging, reply will be received from the IP address that what we have pinged. Here bytes 32, that is 32 bytes reply has been received. Time to get that reply is less than 1 millisecond. Here TTL, time to leave, is equal to 64. This should be noted carefully, that whenever the TTL value is less than 64 or less than or equal to 64, that means you are pinging to Linux operating system. So with the TTL value itself, we can come to know what is the operating system running on the target computer. In case of Windows operating system, the TTL value will be greater than 64. Maybe it may be 128 or 256 depending upon the Windows versions. So that is the reason, if you look at from Kali Linux, we have pinged to the host computer. The host computer is Windows 10 computer. So here 64 bytes received from the so and so IP address. This particular IP address is of Windows 10 computer, that is host computer. ICMP sequence number, anyhow till 176 sequence numbers we have not enabled the firewall rules. That is the reason all those packets were lost. So whenever by the time the inbound rule was enabled, the ICMP sequence number is 177. Next is time to leave is 128. That means with this number itself, it is less than or equal to 64. It is greater than or equal to 64. That means this operating system is of Windows. So with this, just by pinging, you will come to know that what is the operating system running on the target computer. So make a note of this: less than or equal to 64. If the TTL is received less than or equal to 64, means that is Linux operating system. where in case of greater than or equal to 64, maybe above 100, then it is Windows operating system. So in this way, we can go for bridge adapter setting and can communicate between the host computer and the guest computers. The main disadvantage of this is, since the host and guest computer operating systems are sharing the same series of IP addresses. So that reason, if you perform any activity with this range of IP addresses, then sometimes it may disturb the host computer. Basically, the main objective of virtual machine is to keep our work isolated from the other networks and the host computer. So that is the reason this bridge adapter will work, but however, you are supposed to keep it in mind that you should not if you don't have any thing to compromise on the organization computer or maybe a host computer or any service to disturb, then you may use it. Otherwise, it is not preferred. The best way to do the networking operations, to have the internet and to work in isolation with the host computer, is either you use NAT, network address translation, or NAT network. So to summarize this video, in this video we have seen the basic networking concepts of virtual machine. In what way the networking concepts useful for us to sketch our own virtual lab. In this, we have seen the network address translation and how the port forwarding will work in case of network address translation. At the same time, we have seen another networking feature which is called network adapter. So in the network address translation, we can use the virtual machine in isolation from the host computer because they do not share the same IP series. Where in case of network adapter setting, or we can say bridge adapter setting, the same IP address range will be shared between the host computer and guest computer. And also we have seen how to communicate between the host computer and guest computer. So we'll see some more concepts in the next video.